are working on GMetrix Word Expert Practice Exam 1. Currently, we're on the first project called Lake Lodging. Task 1 asks us to go ahead and copy the normal style from one document to another. This is one of those questions that always slips my mind. But we want to go to the Home tab, and we're going to be in the Styles group, and we're going to open the Styles dialog box, which opens up this right here. And then what we want to click on is this, the Manage Styles. If you're not sure, you just hover. But once we click that, that opens up the Manage Styles dialog box. From here, we want to go ahead and click the Import Export button. And I already have everything loaded. We just need to select in the normal and go ahead and click Copy. When I ask if we want to overwrite the existing, we'll click Yes. We'll click Close, and we can close out of this. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to go ahead and configure the auto save settings. So the key word here is configure. If you see that, configure means options. So we'll go ahead and click File, Options, and I'll shrink this screen for you. So we're in the save over here on the left-hand side, and it's right here. We just want to drop this down from 10 to 7. We'll click OK. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 3 asks us to go ahead and insert an Excel file that is linked so that it updates what changes are made to the file. So we'll go ahead and scroll between the two, the houseboat and Contact Us, where it tells us to insert it. We're going to go to the Insert tab, and then we're going to go to the text group. Now you can click Object. I have a tendency of clicking the drop-down box here and selecting Object. We're going to click Create from File. We'll go ahead and browse. GMetrix templates, of course, houseboat pricing, and then we want to click Link to File. That way it will just update for us. We'll click OK. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 4 asks us to go ahead and change the default font. So we're going to go back to the Home tab. We're going to go to the Font Group dialog box. Up here we'll change it to Arial, and we want to change the size to 12. We want to click Set as Default, and it tells us only for this document, so we'll go ahead and click OK. Click Mark Completed. And Task 5 asks us to go ahead and track the changes to the document. So we're going to go ahead and go to Review. In the Protect group, we're going to click Restrict Editing. We only want it to allow certain changes, so we'll click Allow here, and then click Track Changes. And then we want to select Yes, Start Enforcing Protection. Now, the help down here will tell you to type in the GMetrix for the password, but we don't have to do that. It will mark you correct if you don't. Click OK. We'll click Mark Completed. And then Task 6 asks us to go ahead and mark the last comment. The comment on the last page is complete, so we'll go ahead and close out of the Restrict Editing box. We'll scroll down, and what I can do is right-click on this comment and click Mark Comment Done. We'll click Mark Completed. We are working on GMetrix Word Expert Practice Exam 1. Currently, we're on the second project called Ice Cream. Task 1 asks us to go ahead and configure macro settings to enable digitally signed macros only in the document. The key word here is configure. So we want to go to File, Options, and I'll minimize this for you. We're going to go to the Trust Center settings. Minimize that a little bit. And what we want to do is disable all macros except digitally signed macros. We'll click OK and OK. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to go ahead and replace all occurrence of heading 3 style with the heading 2. So we'll click underneath. We're on the Home tab, Styles group. We'll click this to see more. And what we want to do is right-click heading 3 and click Select All. And I'll go ahead and select all of them for us. So all we need to do after we do that is click heading 2. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 3 asks us to go ahead and disable the automatic hyphenation. So we're on the Home tab here. We're in the Paragraph group. We're going to click the dialog box. We'll click the Lines and Page Breaks tab. And then we're going to click right here, Don't Hyphenate. And we'll click OK. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 4 asks us to go ahead and link the two text boxes. So you have the second one down here and you have the first one here. With that selected, we get special tabs at the top just for this text box. We'll go ahead and click the format. We'll click create link, and then right here, we'll click there, and it'll populate for us. We'll click mark completed. And task 5 asks us to go ahead and track all edits with no password. So we'll go ahead and click the review tab, and we're in the tracking group. We'll click track changes, and we're going to go ahead and click lock tracking. We'll click OK. We'll click mark completed. We are working on GMetrix Word Expert Practice Exam 1. Currently, we're on the third project called National Parks. Task 1 asks us to go ahead and set the page settings to keep lines together. So we're on the Home tab. We're in the paragraph group. We're going to click the dialog box here. We want to click Lines and Page Breaks tab. And then we want to click underneath this, Pagination, Keep Lines Together. We'll click that. We'll click OK. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to go ahead and modify the intense emphasis style. So we're still on the Home tab. We're in the Styles group, and we want to click this More button here. And then this is your intense emphasis. We want to right-click here and click Modify. Now it tells us that we want to change the color to green accent 6. If you're not sure, hover. It is this one, and it tells us to change the font size to 12. It's already at 12, so we'll go ahead and click OK. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 3 asks us to go ahead and insert an index underneath the index heading, so we'll scroll down through the document, and we'll put our cursor right underneath index. We're going to go to the References tab here at the top, and in the index group, we're going to go ahead and click Insert Index. Now it tells us to insert the default, so we won't make any changes. We'll just click OK. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 4 asks us to go ahead and insert a table of figures underneath the table of figures heading. So we'll put our cursor right here. We're still in the References tab, and we're in the Captions group, and we'll click Insert Table of Figures. Again, it tells us to insert the default one, so we won't make any changes here. We'll just click OK. We'll click Mark Completed. And Task 5 asks us to go ahead and modify a date field at the top. So we'll go ahead and scroll all the way to the top, and we're going to select this right here, and I'm going to right click and click Edit Field. There are other ways to do this, but this is the easiest way. From here, we're going to go ahead and in the date formats group, we're going to go ahead and type in this right here, the capital MMMM space D comma YYYY, and we'll click OK, and we'll click Mark Completed. We are working on GMetrix Word Expert Practice Exam number 1. We're currently on the fourth project called Office 2016. Task 1 asks us to go ahead and create a character style named index based on the default paragraph style with italics applied. So there are a few ways we could do this, but for this step we're just going to do this way. Home tab, we're in the Styles group. We're going to go ahead and click the dialog box to pop this open. Down here in the bottom of this window, we want to click New Style. We'll go ahead and type in index, capital I, and the style type is going to be character style, and it's going to be based upon the default paragraph style. And then you don't want to miss the part of the step that says to apply italics. So we'll go ahead and do all that. We'll click OK, and we can close out of that box. We'll go ahead and click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to go ahead and mark an index entry for all instances of the word Excel. So let's go ahead and use the navigation pane, and we'll do Control F on your keyboard, or it's on your Home tab, Find underneath the editing. But we'll type in Excel. We'll go ahead and select our first entry here, and we'll go ahead and close out of that. And what we want to do is go to the References tab here at the top. We want to click Mark Entry. And we want to go ahead and click Mark All because it says For All. Close that. Notice that it went ahead and marked it for us. We'll go ahead and click Mark Completed. Task 3 asks us to go ahead and add a caption above this image right here that reads Figure 1 Share Panel. So we'll go ahead and right click here, and we're on the References tab. You could click Insert Citation. I'm a right clicker if I can. We'll go ahead and click that. We want to add the colon here, and we want to type in capital Share, capital Panel, and then it says that we need to add the caption above the image. So Right here it's positioned to go below. We'll click above, and we'll go ahead and click OK. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 4 asks us to go ahead and save this theme in our GMetrix folder as Office 2016. So we want to go to the Design tab here at the top, and we want to click the Themes drop down, and we'll click Save Current Theme. When you do that, it often takes you to a Document Themes folder. We need to go ahead and map that to our GMetrix Templates folder. We'll go ahead and type in Office 2016, and we'll don't select that thing at the bottom. It will save it incorrectly. We'll go ahead and click Save. We'll click Mark Completed. And Task 5 asks us to go ahead and add alternate text to this image. So we'll go ahead and right click it. And again, there are other ways to do this, but I'm a right clicker. And what I did was I clicked Format Picture after I right clicked. We're up here. We're in the Layout and Properties section of the Format Picture group or section, and we'll click the alt text drop down, and all we're doing is adding a title here. So we'll go ahead and type in Share Panel, and again notice the capital on that. We'll go ahead and close out of that. We'll click Mark Completed. We are working on GMetrix Word Expert Practice Exam 1. We're currently on the 5th project called Auction Letter. The first task asks us to go ahead and create a recipient list with Hideki Tomo and Ginger White. So up here at the top, we want to go to the Mailings tab. And to start Mail Merge, we want to click the Select Recipients, and we're going to type a new list. Now, the first name we'll type in, and you can tab through this and it will create a new line, or when you are done typing that first name, click New Entry and then type in the second one. And we'll click OK, which will bring up a Save dialog box. So we want to go, of course, to our GMetrix Templates folder, and we'll go ahead and type in Supporters. There we go. We'll click Save. We'll click Mark Completed. Task 2 asks us to go ahead and save our header into the Quick Parks gallery. So we'll go ahead and double click in here, or you can go to the Insert Headers, and we're going to go ahead and select, use the Control A button to select all in the header. From here, we want to go to the Insert tab. We're in the Text group, Quick Parts drop down, Save Selection to Quick Parts Gallery. We'll go ahead and call this Police Letterhead. Here, we want to change it to the headers. And then it says to accept all defaults. So we'll go ahead and click OK. We'll click out of there. Click Mark Completed. Task 3 tells us to go ahead and create a macro. Now, we're going to go to a line that has no text. That way we don't accidentally edit our document. So from here, we want to go to the View tab here at the top, and we're going to go to Macros. Now, this is not the only place to access the macros, but this is where we're going. So we're going to click Record Macro. We'll go ahead and call this Important. Here we want to click Document based on Auction Letter. If it has a bunch of numbers, check the top up here. Just make sure that that matches. And then we're going to go ahead and click the keyboard here. This is where we're going to go ahead and assign the Alt plus Control plus 9 as the shortcut. We'll click Assign. And we'll click Close. Now, my cursor currently is changed. It has a tape. It's telling me that Word is going ahead and recording everything I do from here. So we're going to go to the Home tab, and one of the things it wants us to do is to shrink the text once. So we'll go ahead and click the down arrow here, and we want to select bold and italics. And then my cursor still is showing me that it's recording everything I'm doing. So we want to stop this macro. So we'll go ahead and click View, Macro, drop down, Stop Recording. And we'll click Mark Completed. Task 4 asks us to go ahead and edit our date picker here at the top. So we're going to go ahead and click this. Now, we need the Developer tab open on the ribbon, and we don't have that. So I'm going to show you a way to do it. Now, there's multiple ways to do this as well, but the easiest way is to go ahead and just right-click here at the top in the ribbon and click Customize Ribbon. And then right over here, we just want to check the Developer tab, and then we'll click OK. And notice that Developer tab is now there for us. So from here, with the date picker here selected, we're going to click Properties. Now, it tells us to do two things. We're going to go ahead and tell word how we want this date displayed. So we'll click type in all of this. And it also tells us one last thing, lock the content control so it cannot be deleted. So we'll click that and click OK. We'll click mark completed. And task 5 asks us to go ahead and save a color set based upon the current theme colors. And we're going to make a change. So we're going to go to the design tab here at the top, and we're going to click this colors drop down, and we're going to click customize colors. The name says police precinct. And the accent to is what we're changing. We're changing it from the current color to blue. We'll click save. We'll click mark completed.